Hi everyone, this is Erik again, and I hope you are having. So now we move forward to the third adjective of. So, so very quickly, the notion of formal would not just means using technical language or Latin verbs and avoid using contractions and so on. We also mean that your writing needs to conform to the structure of an essay, and you need to move away from a more spoken like language towards more written like language. So it basically means some kind of textual organization of a text. So let's see what my students thought when they saw the passage that I showed you in the previous two episodes. So actually, they were quite attentive and observant when they are looking at the organization of the passage. So they said that the topic sentence is there, introducing the paragraph content. Okay, so now we will ask the question: is it enough just to introduce the topic sentence in the paragraph? And some of them recognize that the structure of the passage is rough, but they didn't further explain what it means by having a rough passage or paragraph structure. But one of them did say perhaps this passage needs some work on the connective phrases, how the sentences can link to each other more coherently. So my feedback would be, if we read the paragraph closely, you will actually find that the topic focus within the paragraph has been inconsistent. One of the features that I have spotted would be the pronoun its occupying the beginning of each sentence in the subject position, so that backgrounds the topic focus further. Okay, as with what I told you in episode 1, with the introduction of less relevant information in the paragraph, it causes the break of the logical flow, and in terms of organization, the technical term choice has been less consistent. So before we move on, I find it necessary to introduce a linguistic concept to you. So this is what we call a theme inside a sentence. And to construct consistent themes across sentences, we ensure and we maintain a consistent focus of topic running in a paragraph. Okay, so a quick definition of theme would be the first element before the main verb. Okay, so that is typically the subject of a sentence. So let's take a look at an example first. Here is the example. A same-sex marriage becomes much more popular than before. So we have the verb becomes, and the elements before the main verb would be a noun phrase, that is same-sex marriage. And in this case, because it starts the sentence, we now know the beginning of the message would be the topic focus, being, of course, same-sex marriage. Sometimes, before the verb, there can be more than just the subject, and there would be linkers, transition markers, prepositional phrases, and so on. We also include them to be a part of a theme. So in this case, therefore, some people think that Hong Kong will legalize same-sex marriage. Okay, so the themes in this sentence would be therefore, okay, signaling the cause and effect relations between this sentence and the previous sentence, as well as the main topic of the sentence would be some people. Okay. In this sense, when we read the message, we understand that it is going to talk about the result, the effect, as well as the focus that some people are going to say something. Okay, having to do with some people. So here we are. We go back to this less well written passage. And my usual practice of studying themes of a paragraph would be to highlight verbs first. So my usual practice like this, I will highlight the main verbs first. And of course, as you keep practicing, you won't need to do this kind of highlighting all the time. Okay, so I have highlighted the main verbs only. Gerunds or participles, generally I won't highlight them. Okay, because before participles, the ing verbs, the ing forms, before them there usually be no subjects. Okay, but in clauses with the main verbs, we usually have the subjects recovered in the sentence or in the clause. So in our case, we will have become, have legalized, and so on and so on. And after this process, I will then look at what starts each sentence. So highlighted in blue are the themes in each sentence. Okay, in each of the sentences. So same-sex marriage, more countries nowadays, 21 countries. So I have also included the adjuncts as a part of the theme. All right. So we have, according to Article 32 of Basic Law in Hong Kong, so a prepositional phrase in this case, residence, it, and so on and so on. Okay. I have also included the themes inside the embedding clauses, so that Hong Kong would also be included. And if you lay out all these themes in a straight line, if you look at them vertically, you will actually see the themes don't really guide the readers or don't really introduce to the readers what the passage is going to talk about. Only except the very first sentence with the theme about same-sex marriage. Okay, so throughout the passage, you will actually see that the writer does not do a good job in terms of explaining the ideas or introducing the ideas clearly about the focus on same-sex marriage. And now let's go back to the version 2, the second version, which is a little bit more well written. As with what I did to the less well written passage, I've also highlighted the main verbs of this passage. So with has become, like a verbal group, is expected to embrace, and so on and so on. So similarly, I have highlighted the themes at the beginning of the sentences. Okay, so for example, same-sex marriage, and we have longer ones such as meanwhile, Asian countries and regions. So in general, you can see the improved version will have longer themes, meaning that the writer has packed more ideas at the beginning of the message. If we line all the themes together, if we line them up in a straight line, you can see that there are more information about the essay topic, that being same-sex marriage, recovered in the thematic position. So we call the position where we put the themes in will be thematic position. All right? And the same-sex marriage, of course, in a topic sentence would lay the foundation, introducing the overarching topic of this passage, as well as the essay overall. Okay, and you can actually see the gradual transitioning of focus from Asian countries, and then zooming in towards more specifically the region of Hong Kong, and then we talked about the issue that is situated within Hong Kong. Okay, so there is some special case in line 4 in the fourth sentence with there. In this case, sentences starting with there would require us to look further, to look at what is introduced in this sentence. So this is the nature of their sentences. Okay, I mean sentences starting with there is, there are, there has been, this kind of sentences. Okay, we use this kind of sentences to introduce new idea before we move on to the next. Okay, so in this case, we move forward to some external voices. So we introduce some new voices talking about a relevant topic. So we see Ricky Chicken Man is actually a chairman, the chairman of Equal Opportunities Commission. Okay, and the commission is doing something relevant to equal rights of citizens in Hong Kong. And then towards the end of the paragraph, we can see some similar wording about same-sex marriage, including the relevant anti-discrimination initiatives. So this theme would pick up information from the previous sentence. Okay, so this would be turning the new information in the last sentence to become the new topic focus, the new theme in the next sentence. Okay, and at the very end of the paragraph, you can actually see the theme being this essay. Okay, so this is the whole point of the introduction paragraph. That is, from a broader topic about same-sex marriage, and you move on and you zoom in to talk about a specific topic in the writer's essay. Okay, so very commonly, the end of the introductory paragraph would have the theme very explicitly stating this essay or this paper, the present study, and so on, with the rationale for introducing a topic as well as the essay itself. Okay, so the final thoughts about writing formally, okay, observing the organization of a text would be, of course, if you know how to form topic sentences, make sure you remember to put them at the beginning of the sentence, because it is very important for us to frame the topic of a passage or a paragraph by introducing the content in the topic sentence. Okay, so I'll talk more about how to form a topic sentence in the future. Okay, but essentially, in this video, the whole point about organization at the paragraph level would be to form consistent themes in the paragraph so that you can introduce the topic of the essay or of that paragraph more clearly and more consistently. Okay, so this episode is a little bit shorter, but I hope you enjoy it still. So in the coming episodes, I'll talk more about some other myths, some other questions that you may have in your head. At the same time, if you have any questions, any myths that your teacher tells you what you can do and what you cannot do, I'll try to explain why you can and why you can't. Okay, so this is the academic writing myth debunker. And this is Erik again. So I hope you enjoy your weekend. So see you. Bye bye.